Hi,
Hey,
we are live.
great.
Thank you so much for being here. Hello, everybody. Um, I wanted to ask you if you want to stream this in your YouTube channel. Uh,
Sure.
or
Why not?
yes, it's going to be totally independent of mine, but your people will be able to watch your
I'm just trying to figure out how to do that, and I'll let technology do the trick. Oh no, that's sorry. I have to log into Google, and this is not really doesn't make for great television. So
Okay, we can end the stream. It's okay. You don't have to do it. It's good. It's good.
I promise you I was trying to. I'm trying to. It's just not working. Sorry about that, but I'm I'm glad to share this with more people, and thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
You are welcome. So, for the few people that haven't met Evan Marc Katz is the OG dating coach. He has been in the scene helping women to find love since 2003, I believe. And we have met before a few times, and he is just fabulous. He's full of insights, and I love his personality. That's why I keep inviting him. He's funny and sassy, and he's not afraid to tell the ladies the truth. So, welcome, Evan. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. You're so warm and inviting. It would be impossible to say no to you.
Oh, thank you. So, it's 2025 already, almost March, and things keep changing so fast in the dating scene with the online dating apps and all that shabam. Even Match.com is being sued right now. I don't know if you saw that. Uh,
What about now?
because people are very unhappy that they're claiming that the app is made to keep them in the app and not actually find true love. So that is
I think that's a silly lawsuit, but don't worry about what I have to say about it.
oh,
It's
I do. Come
no,
on,
I mean,
Evan.
it's like suing the gym because you don't lose weight. Yes, apps are incentivized to keep you on their little dopamine hits and likes and swipes and all that kind of stuff, but the idea that some big tech company with an algorithm could hand you your partner, they're highly flawed mediums. Every dating app is highly flawed. At the same time, I would never sue them because I'm still not in love. They would have to be proven to be doing something that's actively nefarious, but every dating app or algorithm is designed to keep you on there. So like I just don't see how that's terribly surprising. Um, usually the whole existence of dating coaches is dating apps can introduce you to people, but knowing how to use them is the skill. Dating apps are just boxes filled with people, and the people are no better than any place you'd meet on the street. So I generally tell women, if you coach women, let's assume that 90% of the people you meet are definitely not for you. And then maybe we could be a little less surprised when indeed 90% of people that you see are definitely not for you. I think we just have way too high expectations about what these platforms could deliver.
I love it. I love it, Evan. Thank you for saying that. So 90, it's fair, and it would be kinder to ourselves to assume that 90% of people in the apps that are active are not a good match.
Right off the bat, I tell my clients, you're an Ivy League university. You deserve to have high standards. You could reject 90% of people off the bat. Great.
Right.
So now there's 10%. Why would the people in the top 10% pay attention to you on the app and want to devote all their life to you? And that's a different skill set. It's a different question. But we can't get terribly surprised when you go into Macy's. You don't walk around and buy all the clothes. You basically walk around and not buy all the clothes.
Absolutely.
So I think it's sort of understandable that you're not going to like most of the inventory on the apps. The problem is the medium itself has such limited information. It's very, very hard to make good conversation with someone unless you're particularly skilled at making good conversation.
Right. Oh my God. Right. And a lot of people are not. I believe a lot of men are not, and a lot of women are not. So
But it's not even their fault. Again, if it sounds like I'm blaming you, if you're on Bumble or Hinge and you have 3 sentences to describe yourself, just really hard, unless you're a writer, to
right.
figure out how to tell a compelling story with detail that is appealing to the opposite sex and give someone something specific to hook onto. It's why I like old school online dating better. I like Match.com and the 200-word essay about me and about what I'm looking for. At least gives you the ability to distinguish yourself. If we are upset about dating apps, it's because they're built to be shallow. And then we complain, why are we so disposable? Why is it so shallow? They're built for that. They're built to not think.
Right, right. I so agree with you. I remember back in the day, I loved eHarmony because you could really talk and ask questions, open-ended questions, and there was a lot going on before you could actually meet with the guy. So I really like that. It felt more human in a way.
Well, eHarmony, very specifically, had something called guided communication, and that was actually too much. So between dating apps, which is swipe, text, meet a total stranger, and eHarmony, which says you have to ask these questions. You can't even do your own search. We're only going to show you the people you're compatible with. I like the middle ground. Between eHarmony and Bumble, I like Match.com, OkCupid, because it gives you a little more freedom of choice to find people attractive and gives you the freedom to write whatever you want instead of pre-scripted questions. But I agree in theory that forcing people to slow down and get to know each other is a good idea, but we're an instant gratification society. We all have no attention span anymore. I'm sure someone already hung up on me after the first 6 minutes of this. So that's the hard part, is people want instant gratification, and instant gratification is rarely a good recipe for success in love.
Right, right. So I see that. I agree with you. I see that a lot, that people get very frustrated if it doesn't happen right away. And so how are some ways that you coach you have coached like 13,000 women have been through your Love University, which is mind blowing. It's like literally the whole town I grew up. It's crazy.
The internet's a really big place, and I've been doing this for 21 years, so it's not that impressive. Just stick around for 20 years, and you'll coach lots of people too.
You're very humble, which I appreciate, but it's very impressive, I think, anyway. And I don't think too many dating coaches can say that. So after that, so what are some ways that you can coach a woman that is feeling really frustrated, that really it feels in her body, the frustration of, being in this trap of instant gratification, and just starting to feel jaded about dating because she can't find that 10%. I see it that it happens a lot. They come to me and, Natalia, I don't like them. I don't like anybody. I'm tired of guys with the selfie on the bathroom, or I don't know, things like that. So what would you say to a woman that has a big heart, but she's really struggling in this?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I first you have to validate. I completely understand why anybody would struggle, would be frustrated, to feel so make it so impersonal and impossible to make a real human connection, and everybody has infinite options, and your primary form of communication is swiping and texting. The whole thing is set up for failure. So there's one solution, which is just delete the apps. All right, well, how many dates are you going to go on this year when you delete the apps? Just relying on just being cute and smiling at guys in real life. How many dates are you going to go on? So to me, however flawed this is, we got to figure out how to make it work. And it becomes like, how do you find a job on LinkedIn when there's thousands of people going for the same job? It's kind of the same idea. You have to figure out how to make this thing work for you. So if nobody likes the process, we have to do the process differently. And I'm old enough to remember a time when people enjoyed dating more, right? So I call it deliberate dating. You don't have to give it a name, but if everybody's doing X and X doesn't work, you might want to try Y. So my formula, which again, I've been doing for years before dating apps existed, was to tell people to make a connection on the site, right? And that means if you're not going to be using a conventional dating site where there's long profiles and long emails, which is what distinguished those sites to allow people to make connections. If you refuse to use an old school Match.com desktop, which I still like, and you need to be on the app, okay, you better write something more clever. You better figure out how to market yourself, and you better have a system to build trust. And that means longer texts that resemble emails, expressing more opinions and observations so it feels like real conversation. Hey, what's up? Not much, you. How's your weekend? Fine, yours. That's not a conversation. That's not a connection. And women get frustrated when men do that, but women do the exact same thing. Right? So being a better conversationalist, there's a skill to build up enough trust that instead of texting and going on a blind date with a total stranger, or 3 blind dates with total strangers, which is really kind of soul-sucking, especially when the dates are terrible.
Yes.
You do this, right? Long, 3 days of long-form texting that sort of resembles a conversation and a unique human connection. He says, hey, let's go out. Oh my God, Brad, I'm so flattered. I would love to get to know you better. Tell you what, I'm around tomorrow night when I'm driving home from work. My phone number is 555-1212. I'm driving from 7 to 7:30. Let me know if I could expect to hear from you then. Can't wait. And now, maybe not driving, but now we could have a FaceTime conversation. And this is the closest you're going to get to a real life interaction without having to do real life. Now we don't have to go for coffee. Now, if we have this conversation and it's supposed to last for a half hour and it goes for an hour, right? Now I'm really excited about taking you out to dinner on Saturday night. It feels like a second date now. Right? And if we talk for 20 minutes and you hate talking to me, guess what? We don't have to meet. So people have such little patience with making a connection on a dating site and doing this basic screening process, then they complain, all the dates are flakes, nobody has anything invested in me, I'm going on bad dates where there's no chemistry. You could avoid most of these dates. I have a TED Talk from 12 years ago talking about the exact same thing before dating apps were even big. So it's just slowing down a little bit and making a connection on the site, the app, texting that's longer, doing a FaceTime, and actually using both of those tools to eliminate people. So maybe you're talking to 7 to 10 guys on an app. How many people do you need to take out to dinner on Saturday night? One that you like, one that you want to go out with. So when people say, oh my God, your process takes so much time. Really? Is it more time than going on blind dates with total strangers at Starbucks? I don't think so. So I offer any client who disagrees with my slow down theory, would you rather have 1 date with a guy you're excited to meet on a Friday night or 3 blind dates with total strangers over coffee? It feels like an obvious answer, but nobody does it this way.
Right.
It's very like 1990s.
Yes, I love it. I love it. That's so good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so many things were popping in my head.
Please, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I wanted to ask you, follow up with what you were saying. So you were saying you were talking about texting, going deeper, really, really sharing of ourselves while texting for a couple of days. And what was coming up for me was
it's not even deeper. Let's be super clear. It's not even about going deeper. It's about, in real life, you meet someone at a party.
Yes.
You don't have to find out in the first 5 minutes of talking to someone at a party what their 5-year life plan is or how many kids they want. This is just flirting.
Yes.
Right. So it's just about making a connection other than the lame one-line back and forth that people do for weeks under the guise of dating. So you're not really trying to figure out if he's your soulmate from the 3-line hinge prompts. nor are you trying to figure it out from texting. You're not trying to figure anything out. You're just trying to make a connection and allow a guy enough opportunity to hang himself. Let him show to you in writing that he's stupid, lazy, inarticulate, incurious, has anger issues, is perverted. So in my central metaphor, women are the CEOs, men are the interns applying for a job. And anybody who disagrees with this basically says, I don't want to have a human resources department. I literally want any cute guy to be able to walk in and get an interview with the CEO. And this is a screening process where the guys who are motivated earn the right to take you to dinner. The guys who are not motivated, the guys who think it's too much trouble to have some meaningful text dialogue or get on the phone, they don't earn the right to meet you. So I think it's just realizing this is the very, very bare minimum. And women have lowered the bar for men so much that we need to actually raise our standards for what we come to expect from men in dating.
I so agree on that. I always think, that we train men in a way, and that when if we raise our standards, if we all women expect more and raise our standards, men will have to get their act together. I think they will be forced to do that. But so how do we identify a good guy from the dating app? Do you have any process to do that, or it's just
I have a this is subtle and it's important. I think the attempt to try to figure out who a guy is from a dating app is silly and futile. It won't work. You can't tell. How do we know this? I had a client the other day. She's a Hollywood executive. And I gave her my theories and she tried them out. And she's like, this is really surprising. The guys who had the best profiles, when I actually got on FaceTime with them, they were kind of icky. And the guys where you said, hey, just give them a chance to talk to them, they were actually the ones that I wanted to talk to. So what does that tell you? A guy could write a great profile and be a shitty person. And a guy could write a mediocre profile and be a great person. That's not a secret. How do I know that? Well, most of my clients, smart, strong, successful women, college-educated, six-figure earners, have mediocre profiles and mediocre flirting skills. What does that say about them as human beings? Nothing.
Right.
So if my clients might not be great at distinguishing themselves online, doesn't it stand to reason there's probably a decent guy? So the problem is we think we could dial up a husband from 5 photos and 3 one-line sentences, and we could figure something out. We can't. So what we're trying to do at the beginning is screen in. Is he a 6.5? His photo, the written portion, the very limited written portion, swipe right. Just start a conversation. And then we screen out based on his efforts. But if you try to screen at the top of the funnel and swipe left on 99.9% of men, and then you complain, there's no good guys. Well, you probably filtered out a decent guy, whether you know it or not. And how do I know that? Because if I dated this way, my wife would have filtered me out and I would have filtered her out. That's how I know. I wasn't looking for an older woman. She wasn't looking for a Jewish guy. Right? That's the problem. When we think we could just dial in what we're looking for on a tiny, tiny thing. So I think we need to let go of trying to read the last page of the book to see how it ends from a profile, from a couple texts, from a first date. The story hasn't been written. Nobody knows the answer. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to waste time.
Yes.
But to me, it's sort of a waste of time to spend years on a dating app, right? Going for 0.0001% of men and wondering why nothing works. So Ivy League schools take 10% of their applicants. You're 10 times more selective than an Ivy League school.
Right. That's a good point. That's a very good point you just made. Absolutely. Yes. Wow. So
it's hard to hear because I hear this and they say, he's telling me to settle. I'm not going out with a 6.5. I'm a 9. But no one is forcing you to do anything. If you don't like the way he texts you, don't go out with him. If you show up on the phone and it's a dead conversation and you're not attracted to him, don't go out with him. No one is forcing you to do anything. It's almost like a kid. I'm a dad. We're just trying to get you to try food that you might not try. And if you like it, great, you'll eat it. You've introduced a new dish into your life. If you don't like it, don't order the food again.
Right.
Each guy is an individual guy. But I'm telling you, I'm nobody special, but I could guarantee that a good portion of your listeners would screen me out as, high earning, highly ethical, marriage kid oriented. I'm 5'9". Sorry. That's perfectly fine if you want a guy who's taller. That's half the population. We just eliminated them right off the bat. So we could do this with everything. If you go from 5'9" to 5'7", you just doubled your dating pool. If you raise your max age range from 42 to 45, same thing. So there's so many ways of expanding the pool. And what do? We try to narrow it on a dating app with no information. This is why we're all struggling. The people are there. We're just narrowing the focus so much that we don't even have an opportunity to meet anybody.
Listen, ladies, listen. This is good. So, Evan, what are some deal breakers? Do you have any deal breakers that you suggest to ladies to stay away from? Big no-nos?
Deal breakers for what and when?
Or in general, for a man, when you are looking, to find and create a long-term relationship with a man, you want to get married, have kids.
I'm glad to attempt to answer that question. I would also just sort of gently point out the questions you're asking are the most normal questions in the world. All right, that's why you're asking them. These are things that people want to know, and in general, they tend not to be the right questions because they're all coming from a place of fear. Right. How can I tell from a guy's profile whether he's my husband? You can't.
Yes.
Right. What are the deal breakers? What are the red flags? These are all kind of fear-based negative things.
Yes.
So let's kind of just put the fear-based negative stuff aside and let's pay attention to feelings.
Awesome.
Right? Your feelings don't lie. Right? And so here's a formula for your feelings. And it's really, really simple. For a first date, you need to feel comfort. Can I be myself?
Okay.
Can I relax? Because if you're on a date and he's gorgeous and you're acting like an idiot and you're really nervous and he seems kind of slimy, like he slept with 1,000 people, maybe that's not the best person to go out with, even if he's the most gorgeous guy you've ever seen. So comfort, how do I feel? Can I relax? Can I be myself around him? Fun, was this evening fun? Would I want to do this a second time? Attraction, what it sounds like, right? Was I attracted to this guy? If he tried to kiss me, would I kiss him back? Those scores have to be at least a 6, a positive score. If it's a negative score, there's no second date. And again, you could do this over FaceTime. You could do this on Zoom. Comfort, fun, attraction. Positive scores, 6s on all of them. Now you get a second date. You don't have to figure the whole thing out, but you're listening to those feelings of comfort, fun, and attraction. And if he falls short in any one of them, there's no second date. So anything about, oh my God, dating coach is telling me to settle, not true. You are the CEO. You get to make these choices. We just don't want to eliminate people right at the very beginning for no real reason. But any of these things are valid reasons. Now, down the road, deal breakers are also not, you can go to my website and go to evanmarckatz.com/10 men. And I've got a list of 10 guys that you should absolutely not date in any circumstances. Like that's pretty easy. Don't date guys who are recently separated, recently divorced, long distance, addicts, don't know what they're looking for, aren't sure if they ever want to get married, and you do. There's a lot of guys we could eliminate right off the bat, right? But ultimately, when you're making a decision for the next 20, 30, 40 years, you're looking for character, kindness, consistency, communication, commitment. If your guy is deficient in any one of those, you can't have a happy relationship. He could be a top chef, supermodel, Rhodes Scholar. He could be a self-made millionaire and a tantric sex master. But if he gets angry every time you bring something up that he doesn't like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you want commitment and he doesn't want commitment, doesn't matter how amazing he is. Doesn't matter how he compares to every other guy on the planet. Right. So Character, kindness, consistency, communication, commitment are the 5 qualities that a guy has to have for your relationship to have any chance at all. And you know what you can tell about those qualities? None of them show up on a dating profile.
Right. Right.
Every woman here has been in love with a guy and broken up with him because he lacked character, kindness, consistency, communication, or commitment. No one's ever broken up with a man because she discovered after a year, oh my God, you're really 5'9".
Definitely not. Definitely not. That's so good. That is so good. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that under a different point of view. Those are real things. I mean, sometimes I have the tendency to think that women know these things because I am so in the weeds. But it's amazing how some basic stuff is not even known.
It's difficult. We all feel that we deserve something, and it's not my place to tell anybody that they don't deserve it. I think the problem is when you've been dating a certain way and it's not producing results,
right.
You kind of have to look at it through some sort of different lens to produce different results. And so if my wife and I take each other on paper, well, the guy my wife dated before me was 6'7", he was a doctor, and her husband for that, the one who cheated on her, was in the entertainment industry and got backstage passes to every concert. He had a really glamorous job. Right? My wife chose me somehow.
You're kind of glamorous, even. You're kind of glamorous.
She settled on me, right? And so, but you could play that game all the time. You don't get to just choose these external traits: height, weight, age, education, income, religion, politics. Those things have zero to do. I mean, there was a Northwestern study, 0% predicting ability for where you're going to feel in your marriage 25 years later. Because no two people are happily married because they both are black diamond skiers. No two people are happily married just because they're Catholic. There's lots of miserable Catholic people that have been together for 25 years. Right? So it's really, is he sensitive to my emotional cues? Does he want to help out with housework and child rearing? Right? Is he someone who repairs conflict and validates my concerns and puts my needs first? None of these things are solved with just height, weight, age, age, education, income. So it's one thing to say, I know what I'm attracted to. Of course you are. I'm not asking you to not be attracted to that. I'm letting you know if those are the main things you're looking for, you're going to have a lot of struggles when it comes to dating and relationships, because the things you do need to pay most attention to are the things we talked about: character, kindness, consistency, communication, commitment. And a lot of that isn't even visible for at least a few weeks of dating. So trying to figure out who the guy is from the very beginning, impossible task.
Right. I love everything you said. If you don't mind, I would like you to, I think it's so important to expand on repair when in conflict, how important it is to repair. There is something that sometimes, because of upbringing, because of, the way we see the world, we believe that we cannot have any conflict, that the sign of a healthy, happy relationship is no conflict. And I would like you to introduce and explain a little bit how repairing it's sometimes more important than not having conflict, or what your view is.
So I might have to go in a second. I've got another call after this, so I'm just letting you know if I have to go. So my answer to this is a little bit different than I think most people's answer. Take it or leave it. You're right that conflict in and of itself isn't bad or wrong. I also believe, contrary to most people, that good relationships should feel fundamentally easy. And people have glorified, glamorized the idea of our relationship takes work. It's a lot of work. Well, if you marry the wrong person, it is a lot of work. If you marry the right person, it's not that much work. It's effort. Watering a garden takes effort. Working in a coal mine is work. And there's a big difference between watering a garden and working in a coal mine. If your relationship feels like working in a coal mine, and there's a lot of conflict, and like 50% of your relationship is conflict, you're probably in an unhealthy relationship that's not going to be repaired.
Right.
I like easy relationships. And in an easy relationship, 90% of everything is kind of smooth, and then 10% is stuff you disagree on and you work through together. But most people have a much lower percentage, and those relationships really do take a lot of work.
Yes.
I don't think if you ask my wife or I, does your marriage take work? I don't think either of us would call it work.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Evan. A pleasure to have you, per usual. And so where they can find you? I have your website, evanmarckatz.com. And
evanmarckatz.com, evanmarckatz.com. You could take my quiz. Are you wasting time on the wrong men? You'll be surprised to find out the answer. You won't be surprised to find out the answer. But you could put in your name and email address, take the quiz, and I'll send you free dating and relationship advice. And listen to my podcast. It's called the Love You Podcast. And that's all. I thank you so much, Natalia, for having me. You're very generous, and I thank you. I mean, I don't know why I keep on getting invited back for more, but I'm grateful.
Oh my God, you're amazing. Okay, have a great day. I know you have to go, so thank you. Bye. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. That was incredible. I really, really like interviewing Evan. He's so dynamic and so full of energy. So if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to help you. If you are watching the replay, let me know your questions on the comments, and I'll be back with the answers. I have been enjoying bringing these experts every week to you. If you have any expert that you would like me to bring, let me know and I will invite them. Yes, that was so good. I loved it. He talked about how, going on the dating app and just taking our time and giving people that we usually wouldn't give, that men that are not our type necessarily, a chance. I always said that when I met my husband, I didn't meet him online. I met him on real life, but I saw his profile on meetup.com after I met him. And, if his pictures weren't that good at all, I would have never, if he were on a dating site, I would have never, ever, chosen him, because his pictures were really, really not that good. But because we met in person, that wasn't important. So I know firsthand that doing that, giving people an opportunity, having texting for a couple of days and getting to know him, having like easy conversations. It doesn't have to be very deep. We don't need to share our most intimate secrets or anything like that. Just having a few things that you like to talk about, maybe some peak experiences, and write them down. And you can talk about the guys, about these things. And then getting to know them. Get on a phone call. There is a Google number that you can use if you don't want to share your phone number. And get on a video call. Most apps have that option. So give them a chance. Don't really discard guys, because the dating profile is such a small window into a person's soul. And I think you will agree with me that if you go and look on real life, all the guys that are single, a lot of them are very good guys. So those are the same guys that are on the dating app. So anyway, I wanted to finish this with this conversation, and I hope you found it valuable. I love doing this. It just brings me so much joy to help women finding and creating true lasting love. I feel so honored to be able to help you. I feel so honored that, hola Claudia, hi Claudia, thank you so much for being here. Do you have any questions regarding dating? This is a great moment to ask. Yes, you can. I know Instagram is a little bit delayed. She's on Instagram, but thank you, sweetie pie. Do you have any questions? Okay. I'm glad I'm catching you. Yes, yes. I am going to upload this video, how to date. Yes, we were, my colleague, Evan Marc Katz, and I were giving advice about dating, and we were talking about dating profiles and how to qualify a man and how to resolve conflict and a lot of different things that are so important in this area of our life that is so important. I mean, we put so much work into getting a degree, into going to work every day for 8 hours, or if we have a business, it's like 15 hours a day. We put so much effort in other areas of our lives. We go to the gym, we just go to the supermarket and buy good, healthy food. And then when it comes to our love life, our romantic life, we really feel like we don't have to do the work. And we do, because it enhances our lives. It makes our lives so much easier. Oh, I'm finally open to date and come together with my future husband. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And I celebrate you for that. And I send you all the good vibes. And I love it. I love it. So, are you, my love life is unknown? Yes, I think that is very good that you said that, Claudia, because a lot of times that is the thing that scares us the most, that it's unknown. We have this desire of meeting a great guy and sharing our life with a great guy, but it's all in the unknown. It's all like we have the desire, that's all we know, but we don't know how we are going to get it. And that is a place that we have to kind of move from a little bit on the side, and instead of focusing on how and trying to figure it out how we are going to get the guy and the future, I recommend you, I suggest you to focus on the why you want to do it, why you want to meet your future husband. What is it? What for? Because what is really going to move you, inspire you, pull you towards that man is your why, is your intention, is what you are creating. So that is my suggestion. Rather than focusing on how or when or what, it's like why. Okay, that's the first juicy thing to create. Why? Because he's going to enhance my life, because we are going to become a power couple, and we are going to do charity work and help our community, because we are going to have adventures together and have fun. So that why is going to magnetize you towards him. Okay, so anyway, you deserve it, Claudia. You are going to get it. It's your destiny to have it. And let me know if you come up with your why. Send me a message and like this video, share it, and I will see you tomorrow probably, because I couldn't do my live love talk yesterday, Tuesday. I was busy. I was at an event. And so I am going to do it either tomorrow or Friday, because tomorrow I'm kind of busy also. So either day, I'm going to be talking about scamming and dating. Oh my God, this is a topic that I really have a hard time talking about it, because I think it's, we shouldn't have to talk about this. This shouldn't even exist. People scamming online, catfishing, all that. I mean, but I'm gonna come with a good game plan for you, so you can go online dating and feel safe, and make sure you can, you can spot any red flags and stay away from that, because unfortunately it is a reality. So I don't want to avoid it. I want to talk about it. So I'm going to be talking about that probably on Friday, more certainly. I don't think tomorrow I'll have time. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Bye.